guys, I'm an Australian living in Belarus, but I'm currently in the city of Melbourne, Australia, having a holiday, vaccine, family and friends, recharging the batteries. And I just want to show you, prices in Australia. So I'm in QV Shopping Centre, right in the heart of the city centre of Melbourne. We tend to call it the CBD. I tend to call it the CBD, the Central Business District. We don't use the term city centre and downtown in Australia. They're more American terms. So we call it CBD, Central Business District. And we have a very famous site, if you've been to Australia, Woolworths. We have only really two big supermarket chains, and they both kind of pitch at the masses. They both pitch at, you can see the huge amount of self-checkout machines. Look at that. There must be 40 odd self-checkout. Oh, they're numbered, there you go. 39, 48 self-checkout machines. Check that out. All right, so let's go inside. So this is a normal supermarket. It's not gourmet, boutique. This is absolutely for the masses. And like most industries in Australia, they're very concentrated. So it's just one or two or three really big companies. So let's walk through. So the exchange rate. All right, so exchange rate is fairly easy. So think about 3 rubles, 3 Belarusian rubles is about $1 US, and 2 rubles is $1 Australian dollar. So this is like $4 a kilo for bananas. Yeah, grown in Australia, waiting here. Now at the market, of course, this will be cheaper, but people shop in Woolworths. This is what people actually face, right? So this will be about 8 rubles or about $2.50 US, yeah, per kilogram. You help yourself. I think in Belarus they're around 5 rubles, $2.50. So a little bit more expensive in Australia, not a huge amount there. I'll just show you some basics. Strawberries are in season at the moment. You can see the per kilogram price there, about 30 rubles. In Belarus, in season, about 10 rubles, roughly per kilogram. But again, this is the supermarket. Smells good though. Blueberries, oh, these are really in season. This is as cheap as it gets, $14 per kilo for blueberries. And you see they're all pre-packaged. You don't just scoop them up like you would at Camera off the market. We have durians for a bit of fun. I don't know how much this would weigh. It's 20 per kilo. I would imagine this would weigh several kilos. Obviously, we don't grow it here. Oh yeah, this is probably 3 or 4 kilos. That's like $60, 120 rubles. Obviously, it's just for a handful of kind of richer Southeast Asian students who are here. All the greens here per bunch, $2.90, so about 6 rubles per bunch for bok choy. Spring onion down here as well. Different kinds of, or larger style bok choy there. They're all about the same. They're all about kind of $3 or 6 rubles per piece. Silver beet there for about $5 Australian dollars as well. Let's look at something a bit meatier. We've got lemons, $6.90 per kilo. That's around 14 rubles per kilogram. Apples are a good one. Apples are around. We have some of the names are the same for apples in Australia. Some are different. These are pretty typical. $3.90, about 8 rubles. Apples, oranges about $2.90, so around 6 rubles, around $2 US per kilogram. Tomatoes, these are pretty nice. Look at that, rich and red looking. Imagine the chemicals. One thing, as a side note, I've noticed here, fruit and vegetables and meat last a lot longer than in Belarus. So I don't know what the hell they're doing to our food, but in Belarus everything's kind of off pretty quickly, including milk. Whereas here, they're not off very quickly. There's some sold per piece. We often sell things per piece, whereas Belarus is always about selling per kilogram. That's $2.20 for this. You can get it's probably about 300 grams roughly. All right, that's enough of fruit and vegetables. And this is something else. Oh, of course, potato. Shit, how could I forget? We have all different kinds here. Mnogo variant, maybe average about $6 a kilo. I think you get cheaper than that, man. There's sweet potato for, again, maybe 10 rubles. There you go, $4.50, so around 9 rubles, 9.5 rubles for your basic washed potatoes. I feel like they're normally cheaper than this. We'd have some options here for $4. I reckon if you go to the market, get them for $2.50, maybe $3 to be honest. People haven't got time to go to the market, so they don't go, right? So our dairy section looks a lot less impressive than the ones in Belarus, for sure and certain. I don't know what this crap is. Let's see what some basic yogurts. There you go, baguette. 190. Pretty big there. Let's just grab a random one. So this is normally, this is 550 for 600 grams. That's around 11 or 12 rubles per tub. It's more like, just typical. This is 1 kilo, I guess. Yeah, there you go. 650, so 14 rubles approximately. All right, there's some meat happening. Got some steak here. Let's turn this around. So, the beef chuck, this is low quality, low grade, low quality. I wouldn't even buy this. About 35 rubles per kilo. 35 rubles per kilo at Kamarovka, you're getting the prime cut. You're getting the absolute prime cut of the cow. That stuff's more for stewing, or I don't even know what you use it for. It hasn't got any flavour. Alright, chicken breasts. So this is chicken fillet. We call them breasts in Australia. Chicken fillet per kilo, you're looking at around 30 rubles, 30 odd rubles. And these wouldn't be great quality ones, to be fair. So we don't have a huge deli section. Things are a bit simpler here. We don't have the complex deli section that you have in Belarus. It's got some basic chicken by the piece there. You can see chicken breasts even cheaper there. They'd be dodgy as of 12. Chicken thighs, wings, drumsticks. A few other random things sold as satay, but not a huge amount there. And you got some shrimp and salmon. So salmon, for example, is around 75 ruble per kilo. Pretty decent sized prawns or shrimp. Still only pretty cheap actually, 45 or so per kilogram. Let's wander on. Now we do, look, as a proportion of floor space in Australia, we have more processed crab than in Belarus. Here's some eggs. See there, that's about 15, 16 rubles. But we sell them in lots of 12. In Belarus, you buy them lots of 10. Or you can kind of choose, if you're at the market, you just choose how much you want. But here, you generally buy them in a dozen or half dozen, so 6 or 12. It's around 15, 16. There's no point, I think there's no point in going down here. I've got to show you this, guys. This is really famous, this salty spread, Vegemite. For some reason we have it, I don't know why. I don't know if anyone actually eats it, but it's certainly iconic in Australia. Let's just get some basic normal peanut butter. All right, here's some basic normal peanut butter for 375 grams. Basic normal peanut butter, 5.80 or about 12 rubles for that. So basics like bread have really gotten expensive. Let's look at kind of a base level. This is pretty typical as a base level, so about 10 rubles. It is 8.50 though. Typically the loaves in Belarus are a bit smaller, so you might pay maybe for some good black bread, maybe 60 Australian cents for about 400 grams. So you can see obviously the price difference there. It's quite significant. Even like the nastiest, cheapest, like this nasty shit here, fucking hell. Even that's $4.40 or $9 for a loaf. But as I say, the loaves are big, 700 grams. They're quite big loaves vis-a-vis those sold in Belarus. Energy drinks aren't super popular in Australia like they are behind the Iron Curtain, but this is kind of what you're paying. $3 or 6 rubles for 500 mils there. Red Bulls here, $2.75 for, I don't know, 250 mils, something to that effect. But again, they're not very popular here compared to Belarus and Russia. I'm just going to show you guys this, because this is like one of the really traditional and ultra Australian biscuits called Tim Tams. These are around discounted at the moment. They're usually $6. Pretty basic. You can see there just 2 biscuits, bit of cream filling or softer chocolate filling, chocolate on the outside. These are kind of known as an iconic Australian biscuit. All right, so a bit of soft drink here. The thing with soft drinks, because they're kind of international brands, what you tend to find in a place like Belarus, they're not that much cheaper. So I don't think you have Solo. Pepsi you'll have for sure. So Pepsi, there you go, $3, so about 6 rubles, $2 for like a 1.35 litre. 2 litres down here, there you go, $3.60 for Pepsi Max that is sugar-free. Coke, obviously still have it in Belarus, don't have it as much in Russia. That's $3.90, but these often go on special. You might even get them for half that next week. It's a real special discount kind of culture. So you can see there, Coke obviously runs a show here as well. Some basic chips and stuff. Thins, there'll be Lay's, oh, there's not. Oh well, there's no Lay's. Crazy. All right. Well, something equivalent. This is kind of typical for a kind of budget end chip. But this is half price, so this would be usually 5, which would be 10 rubles for about 170 grams, 175 grams. Pretty similar. But yeah, no Lay's, which is interesting because Lay's is kind of everywhere. It seems not here. Chocolate time, folks. So this is, geez, when I was back in Australia, this was about $4. Everything's gone up so much. It's crazy. So this would be Kit Kat, what is that, 200 grams maybe? Or 165 grams. So it's got smaller and it's more expensive. For $6, 12 rubles. Pretty expensive, man. Nothing fancy about this. It's just the cheap stuff, right? Cadbury's same, just cheap, low-end, basic stuff. Yeah, this is on discount. So normal price would be $6. Jesus. Again, probably $4 4 years ago. Let me find some Lindt. You guys have Lindt. Everyone kind of has Lindt. So Lindt here you can see. These used to be $4.25. Fuck me, that was only 3 years ago. So this would be about 13, 14 rubles for 100 grams. Lindt, you'll probably recognize a lot of these from Belarus. I can't remember the price of these in Belarus, but they wouldn't be any more expensive, I don't think, anyway. And I'll try and find Nutella for you guys, because Nutella's crazy expensive in Belarus. Give me a sec. Look at that, guys. I found them. Check it out. Right. So Nutella for 400 grams is $6.70. What I've noticed, though, not every country, but often we have different sizes. Well, here's 1 kilo for 13 Australian dollars or 26 rubles. This would be double that in Belarus. It always cracks me up just how retardedly expensive Nutella is in Belarus. But there you go, in the flesh. Milk. The one thing that Belarus is super famous for is absolute discounted 2 litres for $3 or 6 rubles. It's actually not that much more expensive here, but honestly, as I think I've already mentioned, stuff in Australia lasts a lot longer on the shelf, and that really worries the shit out of me, to be honest. Why is milk lasting 6 days? In Belarus, I would say by the end of the second day in Belarus, often the milk's starting to turn. By the third day, the milk's turned, the meat's gone off, the celery's gone moldy. But here, I had celery in my fridge for like a week, and it just went soft. It just kind of goes soft and limp. It's really weird. You can see all this stuff. I think there's a lot of price controls on this. In turn, not government price controls, but just as a bit of a loss leader to get people into the supermarket. You'll notice it's right at the back of the supermarket. People come in for the milk. It's a bit of a loss leader, get people into the shop, and hopefully they buy more when they're in here of higher margin goods. So look, overall, I have to say the quality of Australian supermarkets is quite low. Not deplorable, but pretty bad actually. Belarusian supermarkets are categorically better. Large format, the small format ones are not so great, but the large format ones are really good in Belarus. You get a lot more fresh food, a lot more things made in the place, and kind of higher quality. Here it's really a lot more processed. It's all efficient, and pound for pound is probably cheaper given our salaries as a result of that, but the quality is just low. And it was just funny then, a lady, as I was looking at the Tim Tams, a lady started talking to me, and this happens, well, it can happen in Australia, but it happen anywhere really if you're talking to the camera. People are curious what you're doing, whatever. And she's just a local woman, and we were talking about it, and she's lived overseas and well-travelled and whatever, and she was like, the quality here is just terrible compared to pretty much everywhere, especially America. America's like the king of choice. I mean, some of those supermarkets over there, those large, big box supermarkets in the States are amazing. Our ones are just shitty. I don't know why. We're kind of funny in Australia. Like we're pretty well off in the scheme of things economically, but we're just kind of behind when it comes to innovation, technology, this kind of stuff. We're just kind of, I don't know, we're a bit stuck in our ways or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, our offer here is not great, to be honest. And definitely the supermarkets in Belarus are vastly superior. And anyone, I'm sure, if you've been to both countries or somewhere similar to Australia, you'll confirm this. Please do comment below what your experiences have been. If you're an Aussie guy, because I know plenty of Aussie guys watch the channel as well. Just comparing our Woolworths and Coles, they're just not great. They're just, they're a bit drab and processed and just kind of low quality. It's a bit of a shame. But anyway, let's look at a few more things. Let's go a few super basic ice cream. Look at this. Oh, Woolworths brand ice cream. That must be, 25 litres. It's freaking huge. How big is it? 3 litres. Oh, 4 litres. There you go. 4 litres, only $7. That's bloody cheap. 14 rubles, 15 rubles? Say 15 rubles. But we tend to go for more gourmet stuff. We're a bit of an ice cream country. Connoisseur is quite a famous brand. You get there, so $12, about 15 rubles for a litre. And you have a lot more interesting flavors, yeah? Crunchy peanut butter, salted caramel. Definitely one thing that Belarus is quite behind on is innovation in the ice cream market. Whereas Australia, for some reason, we don't innovate most technology things, but we innovate ice cream like crazy. We just have a lot of really good flavors of ice cream. High quality ice cream and well made. Even in the supermarket, not too bad either. Kind of more cheaper, mass produced stuff here. Sell on a stick there, you get 4 of them for 14, about 30 rubles. So Colgate, to say they dominate the global toothpaste market would be an absolute understatement. Let's get an entry level price for Colgate. Right, these are super cheap here. So 115 grams, 4 Australian dollars, about 850 rubles. That seems to be the cheapest entry level. Most seem to be around kind of 6 or 7 Australian dollars there for around 115 grams of Colgate. But Colgate just have the global markets cornered. Holy fuck. If we want to brush our teeth and Colgate goes out of business, we're really rightly fucked. Okay, that's enough for the supermarket. I'm just on my way out, and I just want to show you this because sushi is an interesting food because in a lot of developing countries, sushi is like a glamorous thing. Whereas in Australia, yeah, you can get glamorous versions, but it's actually kind of more like a street food. You kind of just grab a roll and run with it. So you can see the size of the hand rolls there. They're around 4 Australian dollars, about 8 rubles for one. It's about maybe 12 centimeters long. I think for a girl, you could probably eat 2, for a guy, maybe 3. This is kind of how we serve them up. You can see there, different tuna and prawns and salmon and so forth. Around 8 rubles per piece. This is kind of how we tend to eat sushi. There are nice Japanese restaurants, but typically we just eat them on the go like this. Grab a roll, eat it on the way to somewhere.